this is Romy. Welcome to my channel. This is your March 2024 soul story. If you have a sun rising or moon in the sign, then these messages might resonate or help you to navigate through the next few weeks. If you've got a birthday this month, then happy solar returns. So we will open up with the energy of the star. Now, this is your time. You know, March feels aligned in your bones. You feel more able, more prepared, more ready, and things heal and things grow when they're loved. And it just feels to me that you are quite specific about what you want to devote time, energy, and attention to in March, and that you're doing it in a really loving way. You know, a sort of a realization has hit home, if you like, about where your priorities sit. And, you know, there may be a lot of future scenarios that are trying to run themselves through your mind right now, but you know what? None of them are happening. So it's an invitation here to plant your feet where you are. You know, this is just about your ego trying to keep things alive because it's trying to keep you safe. And the star here, you know, saying, look, something else is guiding us through the month of March. So can we give space to have a different type of experience? And, you know, Mercury jumps into your sign from the 9th of the month. Now, on the same day, we do have quite an erratic square between Mars and Uranus, and you know, sometimes that can really spur us into action, but there is somewhat of a tension and a kind of chaotic feeling around it as well. There's also a sense of being very aware of your physicality around that time. The star, though, helps kind of keep you in a more, I want to say, aligned place with what you have as a bigger vision. Even though March might not be the deliverance of things, it certainly helps in the preparation and in the taking those first steps. And I suppose you're going to be asking yourself, you know, are the results that I'm expecting aligned with the habits that I'm following on a day-to-day basis? And again, that's going to keep you right. But the most important thing I think you can bring to this month of March for yourself, Aries, is an energy of curiosity, because that offers this richness. It also offers a coping strategy for whatever comes up. It helps to develop a new attitude and really brings about this sort of feeling of adventure and discovery. I think the King of Cups is saying, don't think about what you don't have, but think about what you can do with what there is. And when you come at that from a place of a little bit more maturity based on your current experiences, and also this intentionality to kind of really, you know, depict your life in a different way, you know, not to have that story that says this always happens to me, or this is what, you know, is kind of going to play out, and really just kind of allowing yourself to sort of charter this new course. You know, he's holding the ship up above like a quite tumultuous sea, and it just feels like, yes, on an emotional level there might be an awful lot going on beneath the surface, or that feels like it's being a bit contained, but at the same time you're also holding the key, because the ship is the thing that's going to help you take that voyage, take that journey. And so as you sort of work through some of the emotions that are going on for you, especially as we come up to the new moon in Pisces on the 10th, right, coming in at 20 degrees, of course, the 12th house for you. So there's a sort of innate realization that something has to give, something needs to be let go of here. There's an opportunity for healing. Are you going to give yourself permission to take it? I think as well, to some degree, there's a little bit of fear and trepidation that I kind of sense coming up in and around that time. That can be for many reasons, but what is bubbling up, you know, is sort of causing you to kind of think twice in regards to something. Remember, you know, around this analogy of fear, though, it can be like forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And what I see for you, because March holds you in a space that just says, yes, you know, this is an energy I'm more accustomed to. This is gearing me up with that beautiful time of equinox arriving as the sun shifts into your sign on the 19th, to kind of really feel like, yes, I can do this. And in a way, you know, King of Cups also tells me it's like you're almost more magnetized to your heart's truth in March. And that means that you're able to draw power from that. And, you know, it really gives you an opportunity to kind of create an energy that can't be stopped, but it can certainly be directed by you. And the Nine of Cups, along with the King of Cups, really love this combination, because it just tells me you're just being honest to kind of what's going on in your heart. And, you know, hear me when I say this, it's really important through the month of March, Aries, not to wait until like something is at the point of being like unmanageable. So it's almost like rest before the exhaustion sits in, or speak before the divide happens, or take the action toward the dream before it feels too out of reach. So this is where you kind of have this act now or forever hold your peace sort of energy. Now that works for you, you know, as soon as you have the thought or the feeling, there's an innate desire with Aries to want to act upon it in some form or another. And I think that Nine of Cups says, you know, this is about what feels good to you, and it's okay, and you're completely entitled through the month of March to sort of put your hands up and go like, this isn't working for me because I am not deriving enough joy from it. And I think that's about the maturity and the healing that you've kind of come to terms with. And you can look at a situation in your life, whether that be a job or a relationship or just a way that you're approaching, you know, things on a day-to-day basis, and really just saying like, this isn't enough, like it's not okay and it's not sustainable. And so, you know, one of the things that I think is so important to realize, and March will, you know, it'll call it out for us. Yeah, this is a month where we're going to be experiencing the full moon lunar eclipse in Libra on the 25th. It's like, what are you going to do with the knowledge that you've acquired? Because it's all well and good to kind of gone through the experiences, or even to take the time to kind of upskill yourself or invest in certain things so that you become more aware. But if we don't then use that to ask new questions or to create, you know, a catalyst for a change or a shift in our life, then it becomes stagnant. You know, it becomes like almost. It's not that it's not valid, because it still helped us to grow, but if it's contained within us, and the Four of Pentacles is just sort of telling me like, you've learned something, you've gone through something, but then nothing's changing and you're holding on to that and you've got this knowledge, and then we have this gap, we have this issue where it's just like, oh, I know better, or I now know what I want, or I want different, or I know how, you know, a better approach or a better strategy, or I understand this thing that, you know, before I was oblivious to, you know. But then when you're kind of rendered sort of almost with this inertia to be able to kind of act upon that, it doesn't serve you. It's going to start to kind of build up a sense of like tension, if you like. And so whilst, you know, the Four of Pentacles can be a positive momentary pause to just say, okay, you know, do we need to just conserve energy here? Do we need to just stabilize a situation? That can be helpful, especially around that full moon eclipse coming in on the 25th. But at the same time, if we kind of hold on too tightly and we don't allow ourselves the progress and the movement, then that's when these, you know, energies come through and they say, okay, well, we're going to take the reins and fate's going to step in and do it for you. And that can feel wholly more disruptive than if you sort of you yourself decide from a curiosity perspective, okay, you know, something needs to kind of shift as a result of what I now know. So where am I going to take this? And I think, you know, as I said, March helps you feel more able, more prepared, more ready to be able to face and acknowledge and put things into motion. You know, the equinox ritual that I would like you to adopt, probably more powerful. You know, it's not always advantageous to do kind of rituals at full moon when it's a eclipse. So rather take the opportunity at the equinox, which is going to help you to rebalance, and you'll feel the, you know, the momentum of that sun shifting into your sign as you readdress, you know, your own sense of identity and how you want to kind of take things forward. And that's what I feel the big questions are going to be for you through the course of, you know, mid-month and beyond. How do I want to take this forward? Okay, so this full moon, of course, we know we're working through this north-south node in your sign, and with Libra, this me versus we. Page of Pentacles, an interesting offer comes forth, you know, and remember there's a big emphasis around our relationships during that experience under the influence of Libra. A revelation that will come to light that perhaps will prompt some sort of offer or invitation. And yet, is it enough? Well, we can see growth here. We see an intentionality. She's holding the watering can. It's like, look, I'm here. I want to help bring this garden to life. And, sometimes that's the most that we can ask in any given situation. Are our values aligned? Are we trying to achieve the same outcome here? What I would say is that it seems like that is the case, but you might find that you're still wildly apart in terms of, how quickly you think that needs to happen or how you think that needs to happen. And, the thing to remember is just because you have the capacity, to be the one that sort of takes on the wholeness of trying to fix or resolve or move something forward doesn't mean that you should. Doesn't mean that you should, because otherwise we get into a case scenario where we feel like, there's just an imbalance there. Now, the Three of Swords, I really feel comes in because even though we have the intention, it feels like it's not quite enough. If someone's offering me page energy when I want king energy, I'm just like, well, there's more to do. You try harder, and there's an understanding and a compassion that needs to come in. That's where your star, your King of Cups, is being super supportive. But when you've got super clear about what you want, what matters, where you're heading, how you want to take things forward, then, anything that kind of falls measurably short of that is going to be painful. As I said, things heal and grow when they are loved. And sometimes the Three of Swords is exactly what's needed from a loving perspective. We need to get to the heart and the truth of the matter. And if that's that we are wildly apart on different pages, or that something that you're trying to do is in direct opposition, to kind of where you are currently bound in terms of responsibilities, duties, obligations, there's some sort of tension that's being felt, is what I want to say. Now, after that full moon, as we move toward the end of March, Pallas Athena, the goddess energy, is going retrograde in Sagittarius. And, the kind of emphasis around that experience is sort of look before you leap. And perhaps there's a requirement to sort of rethink some bigger plans. Now, overall, March has more positive aspects, but it's certainly testing our stability across different areas of our life. And there's kind of like this sense of new chapters of relationships being explored. Of course, relationships being the kind of fundamental foundation of how we navigate all different experiences in our life, whether it's a relationship that we have with ourselves or others. And so I have this sense as you sort of move towards the end of March, you're getting down to the nitty gritty of things, and it's becoming really clear, what it's going to take and what you're prepared to do. So, lots of mulling around in that 12th house energy through Pisces season. Of course, Venus shifts into Pisces on the 11th, which definitely helps how we're showing up from a romantic perspective. But also, it can make us a little bit changeable in our mindset, and people can be sort of backwards and forwards and lacking that sense of like real commitment to something, wanting to kind of sit in the energy of possibility a little bit more, which is wonderful if you're trying to find a seat at the table to actually come back together. But I have a sense that Aries is also looking for something more meaningful, in regards to any kind of important conversation that you're wanting to see progress with through the course of March, because it's so imperative to what needs to happen in order for you to help realize some of the intentions, the goals, or the aspirations that you have across different areas of your life. Sometimes it can feel a bit frustrating when we know, until I get this fixed, I'm not able to go after this, or, until that's resolved, I'm going to be constantly kind of splitting my energy. And so it feels like there are other things that are waiting for this one thing to be in a place where you feel more comfortable and more balanced. And even though we might have to go on a bit of a journey, and the outcome to that might feel initially less desirable, but ultimately help get a clarifying truth. And we'll see kind of what plays out in the last three cards of the reading. So if you're new to the channel, then we cover that in the extended reading, talk for another 30 minutes or so. You will find the link in the comment and description box underneath. We'll also look at a personal question and a relationship card for you, Aries. So please do join me if this is resonating for you. I'm going to go ahead and just clarify some of these cards, see what other messages we'll be bringing through. So the stars coming in with the wheel. Oh, I like that a lot for you. And another 9 of cups. So something wanted, something you've been waiting for, the opportunity is coming in. Can you give yourself permission? Like I said, I think there's a bit of fear and anxiety sort of like surfacing around this for you. Got Chariot, got Death, Rebirth coming in. What about this Nine of Cups? Six of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, okay. All decks I use are always listed below. Page of Swords, Knight of Wands. Okay, the Moon and the High Priestess. You know, it just feels like that Moon is holding something back. You know, that's what I mean. Like the page, it's there, the intentionality's there, but you know, there's something not being said or not being revealed or not being given. Two of Wands, new plans, Nine of Pentacles. Let's pull one more. Seven of Swords. Okay. I think there's some trust issues sort of coming to the surface here as well, but I also think there's something that you are putting into motion that for one reason or another you kind of need to keep to yourself. Okay, we're just going to look at Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my own deck, so you can check out this sacred title along with all my offerings. You might want to check out the Sacred Soul Support meditation that I have around growing and evolving your relationships. That might be super supportive as we're under the influence of that Libra lunar eclipse. So Maverick of the Light, Dancer of the Shadows, Portals of Possibility, love that for you. Labyrinth of Sweet Surrender, Crown Energy, Queen of Water, and the Spirit Stag, Heavenly Timing. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the Energy Oracle for Aries for the month of March. Perfect. The sun shifting into your sign from the 19th. And, you know, I think there is something really important that you are going to do for yourself. The investment in you that takes place toward the end of this month is quite profound and really gives you some confidence in order to be able to kind of feel like this is possible. But listen, we're going to explore this a little bit more in the extended, so I hope you'll join me. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful month of March. Enjoy all of the energies. Pay close attention around the equinox. That's where I feel you're going to have the most insight and activation and opportunity for those rituals to really serve you in a way that provides profound insight and helps you to manage whatever kind of rumbles or disruption that eclipse may bring in, along with the revelations. You take good care. I'll see you again soon.